Alright, well, I hope everything should be working right now because my god was that a pain in the butt to try and figure out. Alright, before I actually get going with this game, there is a little bit of audio reworking I need to do here. I have, unfortunately, moved a bunch of my settings, and so everything's not where it should be, because I have been doing a couple of things on the side, and it's kind of, requires me to adjust and change things on the fly. Let me move that as well. Anyways, I found something out trying to launch this game. I knew full well that it has an autosave feature, and so I was fairly certain I wasn't going to be too far from where I was when the stream crashed last time. For the record, last time it was some issue with the stream going on. I'm not entirely certain if it was on YouTube's end or my end or what had happened. All I know for certain is that the stream full-on crashed, but my game did not. That my computer didn't crash. So whatever the heck had happened there, that's how that played out. Anyways, I loaded up the game, and I found out something else relatively new that I didn't know before getting in here. And that is that although this game has an autosave feature, things are labeled. You can kind of look at it and figure out the levels and things like that, and kind of guesswork where you're supposed to be at and what you're trying to load into. My problem is I, for whatever reason, the autosaves that I had available to me were not in chronological order, so it's not like I was flipping through and it made sense trying to read through the dates and times because nothing was in proper order. And it seemed like even the time recorded to the save file, again, for whatever reason, was not correct. I had ones that had a timestamp for later in the day, which would imply that I should be later in the story, and no. In fact, it was like midway through. So I don't know what this game has done as far as like how it's grabbing its information and doing its autosaves. It had them. That's how I'm here already. We are right outside the tea party again. But I'm going to keep calling it the tea party. Our little welcome party, whatever the game wants to refer to it as. Anyways, all of that threw me through a loop, and so that's why I'm a little delayed. I had a system restart, I had to try and balance some of my settings, and I'm still fiddling with it a little bit. And I had to figure out what the hell is going on with this game's garbage attempt at trying to say, hey, yeah, we have an autosave feature. We're not going to, stand by it being good. Anyways, we're back. Let's continue with the story. Can I... Am I not? Can I continue? Really? Really? Are we really gonna do this? What the hell? I didn't click it. What? What is causing progress? I didn't do anything.
What's all this?
Guys, I'm worried. I think my game's a little possessed. Yeah, wait, what the... Okay, let me try resetting my controller. Is that the issue?
I'm glad you asked.
Is it the issue?
Welcome
sort
to
of,
the secret headquarters of the Karnak Free Youth Brigade.
What? What are... I want to use... Why is nothing working? Why is nothing working?
Ugh.
No fucking way. It thinks I'm playing on my
still
keyboard and
setting
mouse,
that
but I
whole
have my
Youth
fucking...
Brigade thing?
Oh my god. Alright, so, this game is absolute trash fire. I don't... What the absolute fuck? Falcom, seriously. Ian, I see that the character who is dressed like a gay cowboy is still here. Gotta have a bit of glitter on the squad. Rigid, I am currently about to have a, mental breakdown trying to figure out what's going on with this game.
You never change, Grim.
Now it works!
By which I
What
mean
the
never
fresh
learn
fuck?
Or grow up.
I was already in the...
Typical Gren the goofball.
Not a good... No. Bad. Bad game. Game bad. Why Why the big fuckery? Alright, so, we are off to a scuffed start already. However, in my defense, I don't think I was the one at fault there. I was already tabbed into the game. We were getting the game audio. It was active. It was responding, but it was like sometimes it accepted the controller input, sometimes it didn't.
Oh, yeah?
We're getting it now. It's working now. I wish I knew what the hell happened. Anyways, Rigid, welcome to the stream. Things are on fire and I don't know why. Looks like the controls are bugging. Seems more like seems like an expired fuck than a fresh one. Oh man, no, I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. Point is it is working now, but that seems like an issue that didn't have to happen. Anyways, did I ask how things are going? I hope things are going well. I don't know what's going on no more. I am going to just push forward with the story and hope that eventually things reach a full reset, either in the game or in my brain, because something somewhere needs to be unplugged and plugged back in again.
Now, break it up, boys. Is this any way to act?
I don't remember where in the scene that we had the crash. I do remember that I caught it almost immediately, so hopefully we are in a position to have very little overlap.
Wait, you're... Actually, now that I get a good look, this room's full of familiar faces.
Alright, have you been friends for long?
I'll say. All of us were born and raised here in Karnak, so we grew up alongside each other. This place has been our usual gathering spot ever since we were little.
I'm a bit older than the others, though, so it's been some time since my last visit.
So I think I mentioned before that one of the other images I was going to use for the thumbnails looked to be from this exact scene in the game. And I realized that as this scene started to play out. So I actually am using that thumbnail today, which was kind of a cool thing for me to be able to tie in, especially since we're starting right there. Wait, hold on, wait. You're kidding me. Is this game that fucking buggy? Yes it is. Holy shit, it actually is that fucking
We still
lost.
get together here every now and then.
Oh, I hope that doesn't happen mid-combat.
The two of you wound up our main topic of
I am
discussion
constantly
today after
having to
everything that's
unplug and
happened.
replug in my controller, and it's not the controller. I have been playing a couple other games all day. The controller is working just fine. I think something is just absolutely straight. Things I want to say, but I'm too early in the stream.
No sooner did we consider inviting you over than Gren the goofball here bolted out the door. Sorry for letting him off his leash. I'll bet he's pestered you half to death by now.
Hey Dem, welcome to the stream. Hopefully things are going well for you. At the very least, hopefully they are going better for you than the absolute hellfire I'm dealing with this game's controls right now. Alright, let's catch up on Rigid's comments here. In lighter news, I have an exciting holiday season ahead of me. Visiting an old friend of my grandma, who I consider extended family, for Thanksgiving to start things off. Sorry about that. Visiting one of my cousins Christmas Eve and seeing Sonic 3 with my great aunt on Christmas Day. When is the Sonic 3 movie coming out? I need to pay attention to that because I need to take my nieces and nephew to see that as well.
You keep calling me a goofball, and I might actually go brain dead. Then what'll you do?
No worries there. Your brain's been fried since the minute you came out the womb.
Anyways, Dem, it's been a good while since we've had a real update from our favorite overseas university student. How are things going?
We really are sorry about the trouble. Still, there are a lot of things I'd like to ask you two about. We may be in the same age group, but there's a certain aura of mystique around you.
I couldn't agree more.
Sonic 3 comes out... Okay, so it's very close to Christmas. December 21st. Damn, we might have to see it after Christmas and maybe before New Year's then, looking at it
Would
that
you
way.
mind going into detail about that power you used to save us?
Which will work out fairly well because I usually take that entire block of time off from work. So being able to squeeze it into there at some point would be a far more viable option.
I get the sense everyone here is trying to make you feel welcome in their own little way. You're not obliged to humor us, of course. Though I suppose you wouldn't have come along at all if you were against it.
You don't know what I'm about. I might be here just out of spite. You don't know that. But I will absolutely be that asshole. I'm gonna speak for you, Karja.
Don't forget, the less these people know about my background, the better.
Well, then maybe stop bringing it up and play along.
I'll let you take the reins here. So try not to slip up.
Well, no need to be shy. Have a seat over here and make yourselves comfortable.
It would be terribly rude of me to do that in real life, but no, I'm absolutely going to do that here in a game. So, we have heard Rigid's general game plan for the holidays. How about you, Dem? You got anything major planned out?
Get out of here! That's flippin' awesome!
Now I can see why you were so excited about the story of the Sea King's throne back at the inn.
And everything you know about sword fighting is self-taught? Man, the life you must have led.
And at only 17, too. That makes you the same age as Rafe.
Cruz and I are 16. Just 1 year younger.
Did I miss that last time, or did that happen before as well? Because that seems like the kind of thing that would absolutely jar me. I'm not sure if you noticed that, but as soon as she started talking, she entered a whole new animation cycle, and you could see the poor transition from one animation cycle to the next. I wonder if everybody else is going to do that. Like, she actually had like a noticeable bump in where her body is positioned.
And Gren here finally got his dream job with the militia after turning 18, right?
Technically, he's still in training on account
Yeah,
of all the
no, see,
trouble
it's
he
not really
stirs up.
happening for anybody else. It was that one animation for whatever reason.
That sounds about right. Wouldn't be Gren otherwise.
Ah, cram it. I forget, though. How old are you, Mira?
I think I can hear that my animals are getting into something in the background, so if I have to back away and deal with something, please bear with me. It's either animals or a family member just came by, but I can hear it in the background, and I have no idea if you guys can or not. I've been good, got my first assignment in Friday, then my mate, who are on industry years. Hold on, what is industry years? That is a term I'm unfamiliar with. Anyways, my mates who are on industry years all came down over the weekend. Is this a period of like transition? I know, I don't know how things work over there, but I know here in America there are some universities where you will spend a period in class, you'll spend a period working, and you kind of normally that's divided up throughout parts of the year. So you'll work. You'll be in class for one portion and then you'll work in the field on another. But I think I've heard that there are some that even like have like an on again, off again transition period. So I don't know what that is, and I'm curious what that means in terms of what the industry years are. Or is that just like when you leave school and you're just like, yeah, now I'm working? For all she knows, you might be Rigid, I don't know what you're talking about. For all she knows, you might be manipulating her to build up your harem. It is a well-established consistency that every single Ys game, there is going to be a character that has some degree of love interest with Adol. Now, from my understanding, the only canonical character that Adol ever falls for is one of the goddesses. I think we've covered this in the last stream, so I won't get too far into any of the details of it in the lore, but there are many, many fan theories about why and what that all means, and why exactly Adol doesn't seem to ever have any interest in reciprocating. But if you take that at face value across the games, the man is unintendedly building a harem.
I'm sorry. What was that?
might want to walk it back. Or your next trip to the clinic might land you in the morgue.
Plan is probably to go to Spencer's. Yeah, I would have to know what the heck a Spencer's is as well. Because you say that, and you make it sound like it's a destination for something to do for a particular time of the year. And that almost makes it sound like, I'm sorry, I've got something going on with my throat. That makes it sound almost like, God, what is that one that everybody goes to in the South? Buc-ee's? That makes it sound like a Buc-ee's kind of thing. Never heard of that store. He's my friend from home. Same guy who I went to last Christmas. Okay, and then at uni we can do 3 years of 3 years or 2 years with one working, and then a third year. Okay, so it is like that other one that I mentioned. Again, the one that I'm more familiar with is the one where you are working a period and then you are on class a period, and you just kind of bounce back and forth. But there are ones I've heard about where it is an entire cycle of working. Now, how that's divided up and broken down, I don't know, because that's not one I'm familiar with, but I've heard of it before.
Point taken.
That reminds me, Rafe. How's working away from home been? You got a live-in position at the mines in the countryside, right?
Yeah, I've gotten used to it, more or less. Plus, the pay's decent enough. Anything to help my mom out, you know?
Rafe.
Bet you don't get much free time either, Cruz, now that you're helping the family business.
Legit, though, kind of heartwarming to hear these people all just like, no, we're just trying to help help our family, help our community, just kind of make our way by.
Guessing you gave up your goal of being a shipwright?
I may as well have. That's just the way it goes. It was only ever a childhood fantasy anyway.
That is absolutely going to come back into being relevant as we finally get our ship, isn't it?
How are things in the militia, Gren? Commander...
It's fulfilling work,
whoops, that was a
sure.
mistake.
But the commander's got less of a backbone than you would think. And by now, our rock-bottom pay is a joke everybody's in on.
Can't do much about that except complain to your old man.
All that extra money from downsizing the militia's staff and budget goes towards the Balta Sea Force's protection fee. It was the mayor who made the choice to take that huge chunk out of your funding.
I gotta say, I love how everybody is having like the same rock back and forth time cycle.
Hey,
They're just
Gren,
slightly
was it?
out of sync with
Am
each
I
other.
connecting the dots
That's
right
kind of
about
how they're
the
trying to
cat
justify it.
Whoops. Did I forget to mention? Sucks to say, but yeah. The guy you talked to at the clinic, Mayor Clement, I'm his son.
Alright, daddy issues. Can relate.
It's ironic. I joined the militia as a way to stand on my own 2 feet, and my dad still finds a way to give me grief.
And take large chunks out of your paycheck. Kind of a dick move. You're just like, hey dad, I'm gonna go do something that's actually productive and helps the community. And your old man's just like, nah, I hear ya, but I'm gonna use my position to fuck you over because you know what? I gotta flex my dick somehow.
Grief is kind of a strong word there, bud.
Sorry. I should know better than that.
All right, you three. You're starting to talk like our regulars over at the tavern.
Ooh, that bad, huh?
You know, the people that come by all the time to get drunk to wash away their problems. Yeah, you're all sounding like them right now. Spencer's is a store you find at malls. Yeah, I haven't heard of Spencer's before. Spencer's is a store you find at malls that has novelty goods such as prank gag gifts, greeting cards, extra stuff that the nearby Hot Topics hasn't been able to sell, and 18 plus toys for some reason. I've never been to a Spencer's. I don't know what to say. I'm guessing they don't have those in the UK. Yeah, I would assume not. And I don't know of any that are anywhere near me, so maybe My best guess is either A, it's regional, or B, they are spread out far enough, and I've just never had a reason to go there over any other major retail store.
We did sound about 3 times older just
And this
now.
is coming from a guy that's been into Sears. Who has been into Sears in the last... I think I've been in a Sears before the pandemic, but like... I think I was at one during. Like, I might have been at one of the last Sears locations that was like left open. We have them at the local malls here in Indiana. Yeah, no, I don't. Again, I would have to search one out. Hold on, let me do that right now. Let me see, where is the nearest. Okay, see, I went to go type this up and I'm typing in Sears because I'm an idiot. It's on my mind now. Oh yeah, no, I've got one near me, but it's a pretty good drive away. Certainly not a good enough drive that I'm looking at, like, you know, going into my office or something. We've covered that timeline for a drive before. But yeah, no, that is definitely not one that I would consider to be like in my shopping vicinity.
So, how'd you find yourself in these parts, Adol?
Okay, so I got on a boat because I adventure. We covered all of that. And then my captain got executed. Now I'm here.
North?
Whoa now. You're not about to tell us you're actually a Norman, are you?
He wouldn't have come on foot if that were the case.
Well, I didn't come on foot, though. Hold on. I distinctly remember this game opening up with me on a boat.
I was told you met Dogi and Dr. Flare during your travels.
Yeah? So how does Karja fit into the picture?
And I'm not sure where on the world map, because I've never even bothered to look up a world map for the Yi series. I should do that at some point, but I've never looked up a world map, and I don't know where in the regions each specific game is located. That's something I might want to look into at some point.
Me? Well, I am a Norman. Hell.
Well, I think the Norman people come in all different strokes these days.
That's true. Just look at how amicable Einar is. Besides, Karja had a hand in saving us, so...
Hold that thought.
Wait, hold up. Look at Karja and then look at the, I think it's the nurse lady. They have very similar hair and eye colors. I wonder if she's also...
What's got you worked up all of a sudden?
I hear shouting. And that's not all.
Maybe I overlooked that and I'm
Who
just
could that be?
getting too into it.
Gren! Are you in there?
Pops? Is that you?
Okay, well hold up.
Keep the
Daddy
door
came
shut and
by.
Listen to me. Under no circumstances are any of you to leave that room.
What? Why not? Crap. It won't open.
Break it down.
Pops? Pops!
Oh, I don't sound good.
What's going on out there?
Alright, so we got a two-parter here. I have some news as well. It's about the girl I was seeing from May to August. Not sure if I mentioned, but I went up to her while drunk and basically said we are... Okay, hold on. Let me read this fully before I get into this. Alright, so that... Okay, I wanted to make sure that wasn't going to go into any paths or avenues that I would need to self-censor as I read. Okay, so... You got drunk, basically said you weren't going to talk again, and I assume by you've deleted, you mean you deleted her from your phone or whatever? Yeah, I deleted her number. I see it carries into the second one. Then she texts you saying that for you to meet up. A few days later, you sort of cleared things out, And you are back dating by the sounds of it. Alright, so, off of that note, first of all, glad to hear you're back in a good position there with someone. I've got a couple of people I'm chatting with right now, but this is made so much better because the whole squad didn't get it. Yeah, no, they're absolutely staring me down, just like, yo, seriously, motherfucker, just hit the fucking A button, let the story progress. And you know what? Out of spite, I'm not going to now. Although I do have to say the single line of dialogue is pretty well applicable to me failing at reading that statement as well. At least you guys buried the hatchet. Yeah, no, again, it's much appreciated to hear that things have worked out on that front.
Sounds like screaming and cannon fire.
It's gone quiet.
Yeah, that's not ominous at all.
Hey! Answer me, damn you!
Yeah, and we don't hear the dad
around
either.
in here won't do us any good. We gotta see what happened for ourselves.
Alright, so get up in there. Damn it, Pops, are you crazy? Say something, will ya? Alright, stuck tight. Give me a hand. You know what? Let me just... hands on... I got nothing to do with this. You know, if only we had Dogi here. The man is literally the wall crusher.
It can't be.
You know, I mentioned before that it's not very common that the Ys games get all that dark, at least in terms of what you see on screen. This has the potential to continue going down that avenue, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. Like, I appreciate it, but it seems so out of place for the series.
But why?
Shit!
The last thing we need is said hatchet being used for some yandere bullish.
Gren, wait!
That dumbass.
You know, I feel like a lot of you guys aren't really the fighting type, so maybe don't be in my way.
Just make sure you bring our moron back in one piece, all right?
Helpless to the end, that one. There's no telling who we're up against, Adam. But chances are this is a raid.
Yeah, well, that would probably be indicated by the cannon fire. So now the question is who? Why? Don't they pay your people for, like, you know, protection money? Where the hell are you guys
Let's
at?
go check on the command post.
Your Norse people were legitimately like, hey, we are... Uh-oh.
Now of all times?
Alright, wait. What was the... There we go. Hold on. Gotta remember. Okay, there's the dodge. That's the swing. Alright, I'm back. I'm in it. Just took me a minute. Ah, I just missed that one. Oh, okay. Completely lost where that guy came from. Wow, that really homes in on it. That dog was turning midair. Alright, and then that does... Okay, there we go. Again, sorry about that. Trying to relearn the controls. Trying to relearn the controls while I still have general fodder enemies around. There's really not a good spot to dodge in here. All of the curves of the map. Whew, alright. No, I'm just gonna back off and pull one of you guys off to the side. Alright, that's the... Jesus Christ, these things, they just fly miles. Alright, let's switch to somebody else here. There we go. It is going to take me a hot minute to remember the controls and really get them back in my brain properly. I hope you guys can... Can I not? Really? Alright.
Can't get through this way. Let's find another path. Next.
There we go.
What in Horror's name is going on?
Wait, can I not? Wait. Seriously, hold on. Wait. Let me, Gabe, get me out of here. Get me out of here. Hold on. My brain is like frying here. Okay. That's the combo. That's the individual. Why wasn't it doing those? Alright. Whatever. I feel like I'm gonna have to like move some of these controls around because they're just like not. My brain is struggling to like put two and two together here. I keep pressing the. All right, let me spell it out for you. The L1 is the dodge, and every single time I try to dodge, I keep hitting L2, and I don't know why. It's just my brain is saying that makes sense for a dodge. Meanwhile, the skill sets. It seems like for whatever reason, one of them just was not triggering there for a second there. Anyways.
Switch!
Let me switch back to Adol.
Here too?
Didn't I have that off? Why are you making noise?
Gunnar should have left by now. There's not a single lookout to be seen.
Alright, let me catch up on chat while we're doing this here, and maybe I'll be able to let my brain have a moment to reset here. I think it was the cowboy outfit. I seem to recall you mentioning the cowboy outfit thing at some point. I think it was the cowboy outfit. I was on a night out and went up to her, tipped my hat, and said, "Howdy, ladies," and then proceeded to rant and walk off, genuinely thinking that was the end of everything. You're right about them not being the fighting type. They are clearly bug types. Bug electric, judging by your controller earlier. Okay, hold up. Wait, no. The game was absolutely fucked earlier. Like, I couldn't... Even the keyboard and mouse input was not consistent. Good thing I'm here to crack good jokes for you. That's one thing that I'm actually good at. Especially when given ample time and something to joke about. Yeah, well, this game right now is processing in my brain as one big joke. Not in the idea of the game is not to be enjoyed, but more that my brain can't put two and two together. Gunnar should have left by now. You know, I don't like that there's no townsfolk.
We heard him screaming earlier, so where'd they get to?
Okay, here's my thought. Hear me out here. And what in the... I specifically got rid of Cable so that didn't happen. Alright. I recall in Ys 10, I believe it was, when the monsters showed up, there was a moment in which some of them kind of came into the reality with everybody else, with like all of the townspeople. But there were major raid moments in which you kind of went to the realm of the monsters. Now that was specifically in Ys 10, and there's an entire story reason to how and why things worked out that way. Let me turn that way down. Alright, there was a story and reason as to how things worked out in Ys 10 for that, but I'm wondering if that's going to be something like this. Something happened and we've kind of jumped ship from one quote-unquote reality into another. We're going to see how this plays out.
There are Grieger all over, too. This is starting to feel less and less like your typical raid. Doesn't seem like Ren's in the area either. Let's take our search elsewhere. Ren!
Right.
Where are you? Answer me! Skeeter, what happened to everyone?
Well, I found it. Oh,
Crap.
was it Greg?
Not these
Gren.
things
I
again.
don't know why I thought it was Greg. Yeah, how about don't run off
Sorry.
next time?
I just...
Oh? What have we here?
No, wait, wait, I don't, that sounds, wait.
Huh?
Okay, well, hold up, kind
A
of.
woman?
Fall back! It isn't
Kind of
safe.
feel like, you know, I'm not digging the hairstyle, but, you know, there's something to work with there.
You found some stragglers, did you? A shame they aren't quite what we're looking for.
What are you looking for? Yeah, you know, I do want to know where the townsfolk
They
are.
may have fallen short of the mark, but that doesn't mean they can't be put to good use.
And now we're reaching problem
I
territory.
do so despise pointless waste, after all. It vexes me to my core.
The hell are you on about?
You there, redhead. Unlike the other inhabitants, you seem rather intriguing.
It's the red hair, isn't it?
Still, a miss is a miss. You'll simply have to serve me in other ways.
Well, okay, wait. Hold on. We might be onto something. Continue.
Oh?
Wait.
There's something off about you.
Well, wait, Karja. We were negotiating. Alright, clearly she's got the same magical bullshit healing that the monsters
It
have.
healed! Doesn't that make her...
Alright, I'll help you with that. 2 + 2 = fish, because... come on. Because flipping one of them and laying... okay, yeah, I've seen that before. I'm familiar with where that's going. Other than the Ellen DeGeneres hair, I see the vision. Again, yeah, something about the hair. It really... that threw me off. But you know, I'm gonna throw it out there. There's something about the magical chains that is kind of doing it for me.
Grieger. In human form? This is the first I've seen or heard of one.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some elaboration here.
Well, aren't we a vexatiously spirited bunch? Perhaps a little roughing up is in order before I bring you to heel.
I'm sorry, these word choices. This, yes, please, more. All right,
Here
but
they come.
that weapon is hot garbage, though. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to ditch the thorns or just go all in on like an axe or something. Because I'm not gonna lie, that sword without the thorns, I kinda fucks with it. Big ass sword, but thin, lightweight, maneuverable, a little bit of nasty tip point action. Honestly, the sword's really cool, but those thorns are ass.
What say I teach you some discipline? Out of my sight.
Oh wait, hold up, she's involved? I thought it was monsters first. My bad. Oh my god. Alright, have I dealt with the monsters? Yeah, they're gone.
Away with you!
No, come on. Are you hard or easy to dodge at a distance? Not not particularly good either way. Got it! Big got it!
Let's get him!
Oh wait, hold up. Hold on, let me look at that again. Yeah, it actually looks like you're easier to dodge one direction over the other.
How's that?
Out of my sight.
Yeah, she's actually easier to dodge going to the right than the other way.
You're behind here.
Switch!
Out of my sight. That's quite enough of that.
Alright, where are we at? Where are we at? Okay, yeah, stick it over with you.
Out of my sight.
Alright, I'm gonna take some distance and see if I can draw her aggro and let Adol do most of the work here.
Out of my sight.
Kind of feels like Adol's faster, so I'm gonna switch back over to Adol. There we go. Just kind of wait it out. Fair enough. I kind of cowered it at the end there, but look, it worked. It worked.
You two sure you've got this?
Nope. Honestly, Gren, if you could give any sort of help, much appreciated
If
right
only
now.
I hadn't run off all half-cocked.
Yeah, you know, might be partially your fault. I'm willing to forgive it. Get in there and start swinging.
What's this?
Ha! Actual damage.
My wounds aren't healing? Don't tell me you two are the ones he was talking about.
There. Another scar for the road.
This can't be. You lowly human filth. You're the Dorson, am not your canvas.
I'm sorry. Run that one by me again. The fuck is your name? Her swords reminds me of the Mega Scizor with the... Yeah, again, they're not serrations. I get where you're coming from with that, but, like, those are individual, full-blown, put-in spikes. They're not even... I don't even think I could call them teeth on the blade. They are dedicated individual spikes. Again, if it was drawn out and they were kind of more of a wavy pattern within it, and they weren't so massively pronounced, you'd still end up with, you know, at that point, a little bit too oversized for a bit more viability of a sword, but you would be at a flavorful fantasy design that would be a little bit more applicable. Right now, that is just teeth-grabbing, nasty, jagged spike shit, simply for the sake of rule of cool. And don't get me wrong, I've got nothing against rule of cool. It works because it's a fantasy game, but I do like seeing some cooler, you know, more potentially, at least in the realm of viable mindset swords, which is why so much about it I do kind of like.
Never have I been so vexed! Wretched girl, don't think yourself more than a blustering mongrel!
Look, I know where I stand. And that's probably right there as a blustering mongrel.
What the hell are these guys?
Grieger! All of them!
Again, I'm looking at those swords, and hear me out. You do exactly that sword design, and you remove all of the spikes except for the ones at the very tip. And my entire reasoning for that is, think about, I'm thinking like the Fire Emblem. If you've played the older Fire Emblem games, they have the Armor Slayer sword, and that one, very much kind of flares out at the tip as if to give yourself a spiked hammer, much like with medieval designs, how you have the war picks. It's like that at the end of a sword, and so it gives you something in a fantasy realm to swing down and bite into the armor of your opponent. I like that. I like that idea. There's some thought there. This took that entire design and just said that tip bit, we're going to repeat it several times, and all of those repeated serrations just look unnecessary to me. Like, the sword design would be so much cooler with just that tip one.
Shred her face into a miserable pile of flesh.
But again, we are making, when we're making bad, I shouldn't say bad, when we're making particular flavor choices with these spikes, at the very least we're seeing consistency. She's got the same bullshit going on in her weapon design as they do. So again, if we're going to take the fantasy design realm, at least it kind of implies that for whatever reason, in whatever world upbringing scenario that they come from, that is made viable, and it's viable enough that it's consistent from weapon to weapon.
We're on our last legs.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling the heat here.
Adol!
Yeah, that's about right. I'm sorry, what? Alright, let me double down on that. I'm sorry. What? Karja? Ma'am? Weird elf lady? Gren's nowhere to be found either. In fact, no one seems to be around at all. Well, we at least have some enemies still. I have no idea. Oh, okay, there we go. I have no idea which direction is deemed. Okay, so that one's obviously deemed correct, which means I'm doing the right thing by going this way. There we go. Alright, and then we've still got goodies in this game for eventual crafting by the looks of it. Alright, and then that's how I do the progression there.
Here goes!
That was just me whiffing my brain to the wrong finger. Alright. That doesn't quite look right. Can I make that jump? Wait, hold on. Wait, I get a little bit more. Can I? That feels dangerously close. Like, I could probably fuck with this. And I've mentioned before, with these games, quite often, you will get attacks that you can... One second, I gotta step away a moment. sorry about that. I am back. I had to go figure out which chair I was hearing my kitten scratch at. I could hear that she was over at the table that I use for the Dungeons and Dragons that I run most weekends. However, am I not getting updates? I'm not. That's interesting. I'm just now noticing that because I got up and I came back down and I'm noticing my tools are kind of screwed up here. One moment. Yeah, there's a couple of messages I missed. Anyways, yeah, I was hearing Petra off in the Dungeons and Dragons area, and I could hear that she was scratching at one of my chairs, and I just had to go figure out which one she was at and deal with the bad behavior. We'll be right back after these messages and a word from our local sponsor, which is not Raycon. Apparently, it's Spencer's. Raycon, when you're too much of a douche to be seen with the cheap stuff. Wait, no. Raycon is when you're too much of a douche to be seen with the cheap stuff, and so you buy the overpriced stuff that is the exact same quality as the cheap shit. I have seen people go over the Raycon product line, and from what I have understood from a lot of these people that look into this, all they are is good branding for the same quality shit you can find on Temu for a fraction of the price. So, you know, use your discretion when buying things like that. I've been playing the new Pokemon card game. One major issue is you either use Pikachu, Mewtwo, or have a coin flip deck. The first two are boring, and the other is either really fun or really annoying. Okay. My understanding of trading card games these days, and it's the reason I don't play them anymore, is too many of these, of the modern day trading card game experience is entirely built around power creep and only ever power creep. You're always having to deal with like the same consistent top 3 or 4 decks. The second you try to play for fun, you're not able to get anybody else to be willing to do that. Nobody's willing to say like, hey, we're gonna do a certain level of self-restriction on deck building or stick hard to certain themes to force yourself into certain avenues and camps. So many people just min-max build, and honestly, I'm not a fan of playing games like that. It's one of the biggest issues I have with. There's that Pokemon TCG Pocket app. I think that's what Dem is referring to. I assume as much. I'm actually playing that as well. And by playing that, I mean I'm logging in every so often to open packs because, again, these days I don't even play the games. I don't play any TCGs anymore, but I will still, on occasion, buy packs because I like card art. That's one of the things that I think that a lot of these games just need to stop doing. The power creep is bullshit and it's unnecessary. Especially now that Pokemon is doing the same thing that Magic does, where you have sets that you can cycle out and say, this is the set that's valid to play, these are the sets that are no longer valid to play. What people need to do is, in my opinion, at the very least, what these companies need to do is stop with this power creep bullshit, bring in new meta systems and phase out old ones, and then cycle old ones back in with new cards and new things about that with new card art. All you really ever have to do is constantly swap your card art and say that, hey, these are what's now the valid take. Imagine, if you will, a Yu-Gi-Oh system where, and I'm going to dig back into a distance here, you've got the 6 samurais, right? Let's say you have the 6 samurai archetype, and you basically say, like, 6 samurai is getting phased out. The 6 samurai is no longer a valid card format. So now you have an entirely new card type. And you know what? Just because it's one that I like the card art of and I've bought a bunch of them, you bring in the Dragon Maids. And you have these Dragon Maid cards. And really, they're just different. They're different card art versions of essentially the 6 samurai. And you could be like, hey, now these are the version of, did you like the way that deck built? play these ones now because these are what we consider valid in all of our major formats. And you can still justify people buying your shit. You've got good card art. People buy for card art. Don't get me wrong. Like people will do that still to this day. I do it. But also you're maintaining that, hey, if you're going to play on a competitive level, you've got to keep up with what we're doing. I don't know. I'm salty about how the TCG scene is just a bunch of mid-maxing mix and match. Everyone's using the same handful of cards. It's not the TCG era I grew up in, where things were wild and chaotic and hectic, and you had to make things work because nothing was streamlined enough to be hardcore, super mainstream. I only play Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I'm a masochist. Just look at what they did to Yubel, and that's not even the most toxic deck. Snake Eyes. Yeah, I remember when, isn't Snake Eyes as an archetype actually pretty old? And it just got so much shit that... Hold on, let me move all of that a little closer there. There we go, that's a little better. I'm not screaming at my mic anymore. Isn't, Snake Eyes a relatively, quote-unquote, old-ish archetype? And it just got so much support and eventually just became stupid fucking good? You're thinking of Yubel. Am I thinking of Yubel? I thought some of the Snake Eyes cards are really old. I'm looking into this right now because I feel like it was pretty old. Now, please bear with me, guys. I am now invested in trying to figure this one out because I'm fairly certain this goes back pretty far. Come on. Yeah, I'm not able to find anything on it, and I would have to spend a lot of time on that. Snake Eyes is fairly new. Is it? Man, why am I thinking that? Am I thinking of a different archetype that had snake in it? Like they had Venom tokens and that was a whole thing? Alright, Rigid, you know Yu-Gi-Oh! Well enough. Am I mixing up an older archetype with this newer one? Because I seem to recall there was an entire snake archetype before that then. If they're not the same thing. Because I remember these cards being all the way back from when my cousin and I would play. And that's like fucking mid-2000-ish. Anyways, I'm going to continue on with the game here, and I'm fairly certain the game is telling me not to try this, but when I was heading... I'm sorry, why couldn't I do that before? I tried that. I thought because that tree looked like the other tree where I got to... I thought it was going to do, but it didn't. And now it just did, because why? Reasons. Alright. Anyways, the... Can I get back up there? No. So I've got to do it from far enough away. Yeah, no, can't do it there. Nope. But where's the magic spot? Yeah, I got to get way the hell far away. There we go. I can get a little bit more airtime by dodging in the air too. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Right, there are attacks that in use... Hold on. Alright, hopefully I'm back again. Sorry, I keep getting pulled away, and it feels like it's almost cursed with me trying to describe that game mechanic. So I'm going to say it right now and get it out of the way. It used to be that there are like some attacks that you could do that will result in you getting certain movement benefits. So let's say, for example, if I jump and try to use that, I get a dash forward. So I could probably get a little bit more horizontal movement with that skill. But there are also skills that will sometimes leave you a little higher than when you started. And if you look, you can kind of spam these moves a fair bit. And being able to run one of those movement skills back to back can actually lead you to be in a better position than where you were when you started the string of attacks. Anyways, that's the idea of what I was trying to say finished there. And to finish up with what I was going on with the Yu-Gi-Oh thing, there was another archetype, and it again goes all the way back to the GX era, I believe, because there was a character in the GX anime that used it, and it is the Venom, or like the Venom Naga, or whatever the hell they were called. That looks special. Anyways, that hopefully finishes off what I was trying to say, and I don't have to deal with any more animal bad behaviors. There we go. You can even hear that they are behind me now, digging in, which is much better than what they were doing. Yo, Merlin? Oh, I'm sorry. My brain went to a dirty spot reading that line. Young Adol walks up the side of a mountain in a fantasy realm, separated from reality, and finds an old man plowing a field. What's going on here?
Oh? I should be asking the same of you. It's been quite some time since this island had a visitor. Or perhaps I should say that those who come to visit are never quite aware of it. I see. A pleasure to make your acquaintance, Adol. Welcome to Viewpoint Isle, the site of my solitary existence for forever and a day now.
Have you always been old? You're old man now, but you've been here forever and a day. So, how does this work? I want to know, why is this?
Well, I reckon that I've been waiting for something.
Again, forever. So like since the dawn of time, you've just been here. Old, again, plowing your field. I can't not say that and think of anything different. Oh man, Pei and I were discussing that the other day. Oh, okay, hold up. Snake Rain is the reason why there are no good reptile monsters. I just remembered that it isn't banned, but they essentially stopped making good reptile monsters because of it. Yeah, again, I looked at this, I looked this up, and there was a Venom archetype, and I think that's where I was going with this. There's like Venom Serpent, Venom Hatchling, you get like the Venom Naga cards, things like that. And those are what I think my brain was drawing to.
What exactly, however, I have forgotten over time. Even my own name has escaped me.
Yeah, no, your old name is old. Your own name is Old Man.
But be that as it may, all I can do now is remain patient.
Also, I'm not the first guest you've had. You kind of made it sound like there have been others before me. Again, my question remains, have you always been old? If it's actually your name, it makes a lot of sense.
Appear to have elsewhere to return. I wish you all the best.
Hey, Adol!
You know,
This is no time
hold
to be
on.
spacing out.
We've got someone in the Discord who's been drawing a lot of
You okay?
people recently and sharing the images that they're drawing. That guy legitimately looked like a wizard that somebody recently put in my Discord as a drawing. I can't remember who it was, and I don't want to attribute credit to the wrong person. Adol senses that at some point, his and Karja's mana had been infused with new strength. That's right, you went and talked to an old man, and by watching him plow his field, you have gained new knowledge and wisdom, and this has brought you new strength. Alright, so now we have the revenge gauge. Is this going to be me getting my ass kicked and turning it around on him? Alright, guarding against an enemy attack while in duo mode will fill the revenge gauge. Holding the right trigger and pressing the, again, one of the attack buttons will activate a duo skill. A full revenge gauge will enhance the skill's power. I don't understand what that is, so we'll just have to put that into practice.
Slay them at once.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess, yeah, I'm guarding. Yeah, go on, build my guard up. Alright, so now it's a 1.2. 1.4. Alright, yeah, I don't necessarily think I myself like that skill, but I don't know how viable it's going to be. I don't know if it was that the block was actually blocking all damage, or if it was doing that because it was teaching me the mechanic. It seems like before when I was blocking, I was still taking damage. Yes, you were definitely thinking of the Venom archetype. I literally just remembered to post a... Oh, okay, yeah. Well, thank you very much, Rigid. Always appreciated. Adol gets the feeling that he just had a new encounter in a mysterious place. Why does he have this feeling? We were there. We witnessed it. We spoke with the old man. We watched him plow a field. But he fails to recall anything about it, as if his mind is clouded by a fog.
Forget it. This is our chance to break through their ranks.
Is it? Really, what new skill have I gotten? Unless my block is actually valid, this skill is kind of more just a fallback, not an intended, like, jump to.
Move out!
Right!
No pity, no mercy, no forgiveness! They think this is over. Evie, to me!
Wait, Evie? That's no evolution I'm familiar with.
I don't care how many limbs you have to tear off. Seize those gutter snipes and drag them back before my feet!
Not gonna lie though, this fighting evolution, kinda fire. They really went the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson approach and just said, you know what, lean hard on that.
Let's hide out at the old shipyard for now. We can flee town from there.
Although, obviously, we went fighting type instead of rock type, but you know, I'll take it.
Yeah, Rosa and them are waiting on us. Holy... What's with
The
that
song
walking
title,
mountain?
Can You Do It?
Another
I don't
Greeker.
know! We're about to find out.
Adol, there's a shortcut to the shipyard over this way.
So, okay, yeah, no, it's legitimately, run away.
Gren, hurry!
I don't like this. I don't like runaway systems.
The road's blocked. How's that?
There we go, just keep it going. Move shit, tear through
break
shit.
through.
Hold on, I had way more ground than that.
Either keep running or die wondering.
There we go. Keep it going. Move.
Now it's barrels?
Yeah!
Bob and weave. At least this is kept relatively contained. It's not wildly hectic. It's just, you know, do the thing, get your cinematic scene this way. There we go. This is definitely made to feel more cinematic than it is
We'll have to find
urgent.
our way past. Look strong.
Alright. Oh, that hurt. Wait, that hurt.
What? How's this?
Alright, so that doesn't actually go behind him. Interesting. So it actually seems pretty viable to stay behind him. Yep. Even his big AoE shot does not go much behind him.
Gotcha! Gotcha!
Oh, that hurt.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, wait.
Can't go down like this. Still got some fight in you, right?
No, I don't. Not if you're not gonna stay behind him. All right, you know what? I've got to get him away from Adol.
Still got some fight in you, right?
I was almost a goner.
Okay. Let's get back to the strategy that was working. And just go a little bit slower, a little bit safer. There we go. Okay, worked out. Done and done. Wait. Would I be doing this as Adol if I finished the fight with him though?
A fallen tree? Grapple over it!
Stop!
They're already here? Then where did everyone else go?
That kind of looks like Swamp Thing or some variation of that, but where's the swamp? I thought it looked kind of like, it gave me Creeper vibes from Scooby-Doo. Just, you know, bigger.
Hey, anything turn up?
Wait.
Nah, not a soul left to be found.
Am I crazy, or are those things talking?
These humanoid Grieger might be a nastier threat than we realized.
Those brats from earlier must have been the only ones hiding out then. Oh yeah? And where are they now? I brought them along with. All humans are to be presented to Lady Yurth.
Wait, hold on. Presented how? I need to know for scientific reasons.
They were captured?
No, there is no running.
Stay calm? Our friends are in danger and you want me to stay calm?
I want you to not go do something that's gonna fuck it up. How about that?
Screw that, I'll save them alone if I have to!
There we go.
What can you possibly do?
Exactly.
Son of fuck!
Adding fuel to the fire will just make everyone burn.
Son of a bastard? Yes, you are.
We're out of escape routes. don't
fill
have
me
the
in.
strength left to trade blows with that lunk. So instead,
Trade blows with the little lunks. I
I'll
get
hack
it.
off my hand and act as a decoy. That way, only one of us has to go down.
Well, now we're getting super dumb again. How about no cutting the arm off and get the fucking boat?
You proposing we get out on that ship?
I'm proposing you don't lose your arm. How about that?
It's practically falling apart. But we got nothing to lose trying.
And your strategy, even if it works, best case outcome, you still lose your arm. There's still the question of what happened to Dogi and Dr. Flare. Worrisome as it is, though, escape is the only option right now.
All right, we're shoving off.
It's telepathy. I feel like there's a joke about the Pokemon movie somewhere. Honestly, that would make the most sense, but also, like, if
We
it's
made it to open
telepathy,
waters.
why isn't it
Let's try and
one-to-one?
meet up
Why
with the
were we
Baltus
able to pick
Seaforth
up
for
on
now.
it like it was a standard conversation? Unless it's like telepathy that is just like a big radio signal that just goes out to fucking everyone. Wait, the Bolta, that was her people, right? Didn't
Wow.
realize you knew how to
The
drive a
Nordics are
ship.
seafaring people.
Yeah, again, that felt like okay. I'm not one to point out like the needless level of like sexism, racism, this, that, but the idea that we're out on a boat with someone who is known to be essentially a Viking. We're on a boat. She's captaining the ship, and the character's first reaction, as far as one of the options they give you, is, "Huh, I didn't know you, the female lead who is part Viking, or who has Viking upbringing, who we saw be a major component of the higher-ups of the clan that you're a part of. I didn't know you could drive." Let's just let that one sink in for a minute there, Adol.
You'd have a harder time finding a warrior who doesn't know his way around a helm. Would feel more at ease if the lighthouse beacon were on. But we should be able to make do by starlight.
She's going to chop off her hand. I love playing hooky, but this is ridiculous. I guess somebody played the left arm offering.
I'm still in rough shape.
I'm still in rough shape. You feeling okay?
Come here. I'll teach you the basics of handling a ship.
Bad idea. Real bad idea. Adol and Chips are not prominently in good standing.
A short break will do me some good anyway.
The last ship
Mind
I was
taking the
on
wheel
didn't
for me?
even have to have a shipwreck, and we lost a fucking captain. You picked that up faster than I expected. I'm a real quick study, mostly because I've seen what not to do a lot. Oh, and before I forget, take this. Congratulations, you have acquired an incredibly important piece of equipment when on the seas. A fucking map. Wait, Rigid, hear me out. She was created by Japanese developers, so in a roundabout way, as a creation of the Asian, in that sense, she arguably is just as much as she is a Viking, because fantasy's bullshit anyways. As far as making one harsh claim over the other. Oh, that is a weird feeling boat. Like, look at that. So it can just ride straight, but like, oh,
We were right to escape by boat.
you can really get this thing going weird.
First step is to meet up with the Baltus Seaforth.
Yo, you can really speed this up though. Okay, you know, I can kind of get behind
You're
what they're
a regular
going with
coxswain
that.
already.
regular what?
Guess I can leave things be a while without you running us aground.
Did she just call me a cockswing?
I should have some of my strength back after resting up
The
a bit.
fuck even is that? I did not realize what was going on there.
The helm's all yours in the meantime.
Oh, that's okay. And then that's very limited. I see it. There's like a there's a meter in the bottom left there. I wonder. Hold on. If I don't use the whole thing, can I go right back? Okay, so it's either you're using it or you're not. Got it. Oh, that's actually much better. Oh, I like that. That just feels more more user friendly.
I'd place us around halfway between Karnak and Balta Island right now.
Yeah, again, she called me a cockswing, but I'm just like, you know, look, just because it sways when I walk doesn't mean you need to make that my nickname.
Seems you're starting to get a feel for steering.
Look, help.
Enough to keep me astir, at least. About those humanoid Grieger, by the way. I'd never even known they existed.
I wonder
Your
who
guess
they
is
are.
as good as mine. The bestial kind's been showing up here and there in Obelia Gulf for a long time now. Me and Grimson, my old man, have been wiping him out with no one else the wiser.
Well, hold on. No, wait. But they might not know who or what specifically you're fighting, but everyone has already made it fairly clear that their understanding is your group had some sort of mafia-esque protection racket going on. So, at least you're doing your job in some degree, but, again, the question is, if they're doing this, why the fuck weren't you there helping at all? There was the entire raid happened. The town was leveled. That buildings burning, that is smoke you can see for miles away. If we get there and they don't know what's happened, clearly they don't have anybody watching the areas they're claiming to be protecting. So I'm about to hold your feet to the fire here, lady.
Some are in on it, others aren't. And I think Grimson's been making some kind of investigation into the Grieger too. But he still won't tell me a damn thing. Other than that I should look into him myself if I'm so curious. Or that carving one's path through the waters is the Norman way of life.
Well, I mean, at least that's a lifestyle approach I can get behind. Will he keep quiet about the cuffs?
Probably. Of course, it's also possible that he just has nothing to share. Apparently, I started being able to use mana at around 10 years old. Ever since, I've been tasked with culling the Grieger herd without ever knowing why. I always assumed an explanation would follow once I became a full-fledged warrior.
And now, here you are, consistently turning to your first line of dealing with an issue, removing your fucking hand.
So, with that as my guiding thought, I worked as hard as I could, and...
We're getting real, like, Justice League Aquaman vibes here. The haze clouding Karja's heart courses palpably through the handcuffs. Alright, so now we can, like, what? We've got, like, mood ring handcuffs going on, too?
In what
Sounds
way
like
are
me.
we anything alike?
I knew nothing of the sea in my mountain village.
What? And now you're just playing me for a sap. How could anybody be oblivious to the whole damn...
Well, have you ever heard about isolationists?
Wait, is that what ends up happening when you're born and raised in the mountains?
Yeah, you know mountain shit. How much do you know about mountain shit?
So, there's folks out there who know nothing about the ocean. And I knew nothing of them.
It's the reason I started
Right.
adventuring.
So the reason you set off was to learn more about the ocean?
I think the context there was to more learn about what I didn't know about.
I wonder, is there more I'd like to find out too?
Which Aquaman and where's Momoa? Do you know the Justice League animated series in the early 2000s? That Aquaman. That Aquaman is one of the most hardcore badass Aquaman that I'm familiar with, and I'm holding that even against the Jason Momoa Aquaman. You're talking about the Aquaman who was like absolute unit, Giga Chad, walked in on the God, what was it? Was it the military? Anyways, a hardcore badass, couldn't be hurt by much of anything. How do I... You know what? I'm just going to say it. Spoiler alert, or spoiler warning, whatever. Be aware that I'm about to spoil the story bit here. There is a scene in which Aquaman is pinned to a rock and unable to break free. I can't remember what villain it was, but they're trying to overthrow... God, why can't I think right now? Clearly this is evident of how late it's getting. Atlantis. They're trying to overthrow Atlantis. Aquaman is pinned to a cliffside with his young son, his baby, infant, child, screaming, crying son. And he is able to break one hand free. And in a fit of desperation, he reaches for his belt buckle and lops his own arm off so that he can save himself and his son. That is the most big dick energy that Aquaman has ever been.
About myself, maybe?
Why?
Huh? Not sure. Something about you just raises my hackles.
Something about you just pisses me off, so I thought I'd just kick you for no reason. I'm not gonna
Why did it take
explain
me
it.
this long to...
Hey,
Something the matter?
those your people, or are they a problem?
Those ships.
Got it. Problem. Now, if we have this much of a
It's
lead
the
on them,
Grieger.
why can't we just
No
keep
two ways about
going?
it.
They have ships?
Not just one either. It's a whole miniature armada.
And
They've
they're
got us
already
in
firing on
range.
us.
We're too short on manpower to fight our way out. One extra pair of hands on deck would at least give us a chance.
One extra pair of hands on deck. You mean the guy that we brought on board?
Look no further then.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Just
Welcome
now,
aboard.
Yeah. I've got a few choice words for you both.
Yeah, can they be like, hey, how are we gonna survive? Instead of, hey, why did you beat the shit out of me when I was being a dumbass?
There's bigger fish to fry right now, and I don't want to make another bonehead mistake.
There we
What
go.
can you do?
I took artillery training as part of my drills in the militia.
Cannon duty it is.
Sure thing. I'll give it my best shot.
Well, I
All
guess
right,
at the
Adol.
very least he knows
Prepare
how
for
to make
naval
use of it.
combat.
Alright, so this is one of the things that I have heard is not a highlight of this game, which is unfortunate. Alright, the Sanders's HP displayed in the bottom right depletes when hit by enemy ships. Skillfully steer yourself out of attacks and close in on foes before unleashing your EX armaments. While out at sea, you can use the standard projectiles, weaken power but can slow down ships, and the EX armaments, short-ranged but powerful attacks. Alright, so my ship's equivalent of a shotgun. Oh, wait, hold up. That, not quite what I thought this was going to have going on. Alright, they're slowed down. Oh, Wait, why is none of this making sense? Yeah, this is not the cleanest of my understanding of what's going on. There we go. Okay, that at least managed. Can I get out of? Yeah, please. Oh, the camera was bad. I don't know why it put me back into that camera mode, but let me get out of here. Move. Never put me back in that vision again. I mentioned when I first got the option to zoom out that I did not like that. Alright. I've understood the aiming of the shots now, but God, I hate that up-close camera angle. It's like playing a racing game and to put the camera in the driver's view. Unless I've got a steering wheel in my hand, I don't want that shit. There's no end
to them. They're out to ram us.
Alright, so that was like disgusting to try and do. That did not feel great until I got out of that angle that they put me in. Alright, are we going to get another round of this, or are these your people finally? Thank God.
Right then. Full speed ahead.
Alright, is this a self-playing
Send a
one?
message
Yes,
to
it
all
is.
vessels. Maintain spindle formation and crowd sails. From there, proceed as planned.
Aye, sir.
Alright, while we are getting our asses saved by people who are better at this than I am, I'm going to catch up on chat.
Close in and prepare to board.
Aquaman is basically just Superman, but wet. That is unless you have some pink kryptonite, and then they're both wet. I understand that the Superman lore has developed many other variations of kryptonite. This is the first time I'm ever hearing about pink kryptonite. Please tell me that you're joking about that. There's actually just a kryptonite that just makes Superman
There's not a trace of fear on any of them.
Aye. We wouldn't have the right to call ourselves Normans
Horny kryptonite
otherwise.
sounds like a terrible thing.
Still, they're against the undead. It's a losing battle.
Not for him.
Yeah, again, he can use the same garbage special abilities that we have.
Moment of truth. Let's get this over with.
Okay, but
Fight well,
he makes it look like a vampire
Lord
skill.
I won't be long. A pleasant evening to ya. Too bad. It's the last you'll ever get.
Well, at least he makes it look a lot cooler than I do.
How did one guy do all that by himself? Boy,
magical bullshit.
Is he who I think he is?
Grimson Balta. My old man, and the Jarl of the Balta Sea Force.
Okay, hold up. I have an opportunity here to read through this. Let's hope the Grieger aren't Jewish. They might have space lasers. There is an entire thing about that space laser comment that I could go down as a deep dive comment of the absurdity of lies on both parts of things. Anyways, the idea though is hilarious, and I love the joke. Something about these streams makes me happy and comfortable enough to pump out jokes like a Chinese sweatshop. Chinese sweatshop trying to compete with Santa. You know, nothing says holiday spirit like forced labor. Pink kryptonite makes you... Wait, what? There is a meme terminology, phrase, whatever the hell you want to call it. I believe it originates with South Park. The idea of to make something lame, when you're making something in the modern era, it has to be made lame, gay, and stupid. I think the origin of that has to do with South Park. That is exactly what this pink kryptonite crap sounds like to me. Somebody went in there and just said, we're making a modern day new piece of Superman lore. So what do we have to do? We have to make it lame, gay, and stupid. So we're just going to wrap that all into one item.
Not just mana. He also triggered what we call a berserker state.
Berserk... what now?
On top of wielding mana, he can go berserk whenever he pleases. It's a form of combat that only develops in a select few, turning their heightened emotions into raw power. The user gains monumental strength at the cost of their senses, causing them to fight till their stamina runs dry. But from what I'm told, Grimson's got the power to bend it to his will.
Excellently done, my Jarl.
And the man literally just gets back on the boat and just like, yeah, you know what, give me my cigar back, I'm not done.
The enemy force is on a reciprocal course. In retreat, most likely. Shall we give chase?
Pink kryptonite is a much older thing than you'd expect. Much older. You're really gonna have to fill me in on just how old this is, Rigid, because again, the idea sounds like some modern garbage shit, but also, I guess I shouldn't be all that surprised if it goes back to certain eras in the American culture zeitgeist, because again, it's not the first time we've had a growing spike of certain things entering more into the pop culture than you'd expect. Again, you know, I'm going back to what was it? Was it the 70s or the 80s? A lot of that was common as well. So if you're gonna tell me that it goes back to like the 80s territory, again, I wouldn't be massively all that surprised. That sounds like something that would be born from some hippie speak.
Those whoresuns are like a lizard's tail, the way they always come back. I ain't letting you put my nose to the grindstone all willy-nilly.
Be that as it may, do you suppose they were intending to turn Karnak into their stronghold?
Far from it. They were only there to mount a search. Still, to think those Grieger would cobble together a whole damn fleet of their own. Guess that means the time's finally arrived.
Hey! That ship's closing in on us!
Yeah, I feel like we don't have much to have to worry about on this one.
The Norgist, flagship of the Balta Sea Force.
Princess, I am relieved to see you unharmed.
Same to you, Gunnar.
Not once did I expect such an ordeal to befall Karnak.
Yeah, again, I'm strongly questioning what the hell was going on.
You would have avoided it entirely had I not insisted you remain there. My deepest apologies.
Okay, so what I'm hearing here is you wouldn't have been involved if I didn't tell you to remain. And if I didn't tell you to remain, we probably wouldn't care enough to be here right now solving the issue. Ergo, I return to the idea of what the fuck are you putting your boot on these guys' throats for if you're not gonna do the fucking thing that you say you're gonna do?
It's fine.
We'll be sending a scouting party to the town at once. Though you must be exhausted, we would have you recount the events to us later.
Okay, never mind. The Kryptonite is from a comic that debuted in 2003. Just looked it up. The pink one, I mean. Okay, yeah, so again, that is in the early era of this modern movement to it. But again, I still would not have been surprised if that came about as part of some side piece, one-time reference from like the 80s or something. Because again, that sounds within, 70s, 80s, that general region. because that sounds still like it would fit within the culture of the time.
Got it.
Hoy there, Karja. Really went through the grinder today, huh?
Grimson.
And I say that because it was its own era of, what's the term I'm looking for? Where things were hypersexualized, but brought into mainstreams in a way that it didn't necessarily have to be fit into. A lot of things being made sexual that didn't have to be, simply for the sake of that's the way the cultural kind of flow was heading in certain senses. There's a term for what I'm looking for there, and I can't put my tongue on it. But that's a terrible choice of words. But that I would not have been surprised to have found out that it was from that era as well.
What's with the getup? You suddenly develop an eye for fashion?
Bite your tongue.
Karja actually just like, well, hold on, this shit's kind of fire, though.
I suppose that's neither here nor there. Not with everything going to hell in a handbasket. That boy over there, the mana user. There was a line that I thought I saw your daughters, and I was like, that is gonna be a fun one to go with, and then it's just like, oh yeah, it's a general thing. No, I want him to hate me. Nice to meet you. Likewise. I've heard bits and pieces about what you've been through. Probably has your mind swimming in
Again, we had that
questions.
same kind of
I've only
play
got
back
one
and
thing to
forth with
say,
what
though.
was his name, Gunnar or whatever. I was kind of hoping they were gonna give me some fun avenues of dialogue down that similar thing with her father of all people.
You, lad, are gonna be helping us out. Can't have enough mana wielders in these trying times, am I right?
Okay, cool. How do I save my wife Dogi?
Crimson.
Hey, hold on a second! Those goons kidnapped the entire population of Karnak.
Look, I don't... Dogi's the only important one.
They what?
We didn't realize it had come to that point.
Protecting the town was part of the deal my pops made with you, wasn't it? So go save them. If you don't, who will?
I have been harping on that exact point for a while now.
Oh yeah, you're Clement's boy, ain't ya? Let me offer a little reminder. We Normans ain't defenders of justice. We're lawless brigands.
Okay, so let me paint a little bit going on here, because my god, that take he just ended with kind of pisses me off. We're gonna see if it's gonna go right into an autoplay scene before I go down what I'm gonna say.
Hey, it's in sight.
Alright. And I am hearing my pets again in the background, but it doesn't sound like they're getting into anything problematic yet, so I'm gonna leave them be. Anyways, I see that there is more dialogue that's not coming in. YouTube is failing me again. Thank you, YouTube. Love it. Much appreciated. Your daughter, something Hotel Transylvania Dracula meme. Yes, something like that. Anyways, the entire reference to the protection racket is obviously, you know, playing into the references that I'm making that I'm a little bit more familiar with as far as the actual application of the mafia stuff. At the very least, when the mafia would be having their protection racket come into play, a lot of it was, hey, pay us to protect you from other things, and if you don't, well, then you better have somebody else you're paying because you're going to need protection from us. That was kind of how a lot of that went. Either you're going to pay us or we're going to be part of the problem for you. That's my understanding of it, at least. So again, here we're seeing something similar to that, but there was a difference. At least when the mafia had their territory encroached on by somebody else who was causing problems, they would at least go and deal with it. They weren't necessarily the best at dealing with it, but they dealt with it, and sometimes it was problematic, and sometimes it was a little too bloody, and sometimes it wasn't quite, like, yielding proper protection because, you know, collateral damage and things, but they went and they dealt with it. So at the very least, they had that going for them when a place that they were claiming to be protecting had trouble.
these people aren't even doing that. They're not even the Mafia. They are just like, pay us and we're gonna do nothing.
The headquarters of the Balta Sea Force. And our home, Balta Island.
Whoa.
Cool. Looks like every other island so far. It does look pretty well
It needs
defended,
to
if
be.
nothing else.
It's also the main port for our warships.
Man, what's gonna happen now?
I don't have a clue myself. But based on what Grimson said, you might be the one holding the key to all of this, Adel.
Oh, that's a terrible shot for frame rate. Oh, that was bad. That was god awful. The entire camera pan happened at like fucking 12 frames per second.
Let me offer a little reminder. We Normans ain't defenders of justice. We're lawless brigands. We honor our contracts, but we do it our way. You there, Red. Where'd you say you came from?
A mountain village in the north.
Heard
I
an
don't think we
interesting
named it
rumor
yet.
the day before yesterday up in Promalock. Seems some kid who was working in the port was able to get rid of the storm wall. Got rid of it? The whole thing? No way! And they say not too long after, that very same kid just decided to stroll on down our way. Well, would you look at that bright red mane? Way I hear it, hair that color you only find in the northern European mountains. Gunnar, what do you make of this?
Surely it can't be. Then again, given what happened back in Karnak.
I love it. Here's a whole slew of reasons why Adol is someone special. What do you think is going on here? Well, I refuse to believe it because fuck that kid.
Things are starting to get real interesting.
The camera shook like a chihuahua. I am struggling to read. The camera shook like a chihuahua for a second. Yeah, no, whatever the hell happened, that was a nasty stutter. And again, I'm not playing on the Switch. This game is available on the Switch. I'm playing on the PC with a machine that more than meets the specs required to play this game. I don't know what is up with some of these scenes, but there are some issues. That choppy camera pan, that was god-awful and terrible, and something needs to be done to fix that because that was nasty. The same thing with that animation that was just jarring earlier in the Tea Party scene, where the character basically had a momentary reset in their animation loop. That was weird. Shit like that should not be mainline in major games these days.
It's clear to me that you're a pluckier lad than you look, Red.
And that was again a camera pan. The hell is going on that you're slowing down during a camera panning in a cutscene?
For now, I don't care whether the rumors about you are true or not. You keep to our stern till we're back at the island. And you're staying here with him, Karja.
Yeah, she really doesn't have a lot of choices.
Shouldn't we take him into custody?
He ain't going anywhere, right?
Again, you don't know that. Look, you already hyped me up as being someone, you know, who is of prominent note. You don't know what I'm capable of. You turn your back on me and I end your whole fleet. You don't know I can't? Call me on it.
Arm's length, huh?
Can't blame them, all things considered. I'm kind of important.
I guess, yeah. Anyway, we're about to enter port.
Are those stakes coming out of the ocean?
They're barricades to keep attacking enemy ships away.
Honestly, that's kind of really clever if they're like sturdy enough and, you know, not gonna fall apart at the first like thing that brushes into them. Because again, you know, you've got like high tide coming in. all of a sudden, those things are invisible. You either know where they are or you don't, and if you don't know where they are at high tide, you're gonna run right into that shit, and your ship's going down.
There are a lot of watchfires burning tonight. We've got more lookout station than usual.
Did the Grieger hit here too?
No, I don't think so.
Well, then why y'all
Everyone's
worried?
probably just on high alert after realizing something went wrong in Karnak.
Yeah, again, you should have been able to see a fire like that, or at least the smoke from a fire like that. This is like an archipelago from what I understand, right? Many islands in the nearby vicinity should all be aware that something seriously just went down there.
More importantly, you two, get ready to dock.
At the very least, it's heavily implied that a lot of the people were just taken hostage, and it's not like, you know, bodies piled high.
Who are you?
Again,
Identify yourselves.
The issue isn't so much a lot of the townsfolk, like, they're one-off, write-off stories here, but I need to protect my baby boy Dogi.
And what's with the beat-up old boat? You prisoners of war or something?
I'm sorry, do you not realize who you're talking to?
It's me, Karja, Grimson's daughter.
Karja.
Again,
Princess?
it's just like, someone that important and you don't recognize?
Why are you dressed like that? And why'd you sail in on this junker?
A lot happened in Karnak.
It's almost like you should be worried about the person and not the boat.
And these two are with me. I need to report in about him ASAP.
One of them is Mayor Clement's son. I'll look after him from here.
War Chief Gunnar! Welcome back!
Are those Grimson's orders?
Yes. Our contract states that in the event of an emergency, we are to protect the mayor's family.
Okay, and so, if he wasn't here with us, how would you have made good on your deal here?
Gren, was it? Would you come with me?
Like I've even got a choice.
This is for your own safety. Adel, please don't worry about him. As for where you'll stay, Adel,
Miss Karja!
Hey, Easer. Came to welcome me back?
it seems everyone's gotten word of our return.
Yes, I'm glad you're all safe. You must be Adol. Is that right?
Wait. Did we ever hear about a little brother? I feel like maybe we did when she was getting her outfit or something.
Me? Perish the thought.
No. We did hear about... I thought we heard something about family, but maybe it wasn't a brother.
I'm simply a servant to the Bolter family. My name is Isa. You'll be staying at the Bolter family lodge this evening, Adol.
Okay.
Please allow me to escort you there.
It seems I can leave the rest to you. With that, Princess, I take my leave. The Jarl will explain what comes next in due time, I'm sure.
Got it.
Now then, follow me, Gran.
Well, Adel, be seeing you.
You know, for someone who is so incredibly
Shall
hot-headed
we be on
and
our
willing
way
to
as
throw
well,
his
Miss
life
Kasha?
away, he's kind of going along with this a little easygoing right now.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna read this rigid because there's a part of this here. I guess sharing the stream everywhere I could wasn't enough. Part of me is happy because I have you all to myself. That sounded creepy, but I don't know why I read that the first time as I digest, and I thought it was a typo that I was gonna rail on, but no, I digress. And part of me wants more people to show up. Honestly, like I've said before, I don't so much necessarily go hard one way or the other as to whether or not people do or don't show up. I don't base what I do here on that, and it's the people who are here, in this case you, Rigid, that are what I try to make the focus on and about. If you actually ever decided to check what I have in the updated description of my channel, that's kind of the entire premise I have here, is that friendly approach of just kind of chilling out and spending some time with friends. And so, while you're here, thank you very much. And that is the way I try and take this and approach it. As always, it's definitely appreciated when people do share it around, even if it doesn't yield anything, because at the very least that does play well on YouTube's side of things. From what I understand, they're able to track that as to who shares what, when, and how often. So it is usually beneficial when that happens. Anyways, so for that, thank you, but also, I much appreciate that you're here anyways. Also, yes, having me all to yourself
Are you hurt, Miss
does,
Carter?
you know,
Perhaps you feel unwell from inhaling
but
church smoke?
I have
I'm fine.
definitely been known to
You're always
make
the
such
worry ward,
statements
aren't you?
myself as
It's
well.
been
So,
one
who am I
unprecedented
to make the
circumstance after
comment
another
regarding?
recently. Adult.
Obligatory, I'm not gay, but... Is Norman architecture new to you? The buildings are characterized by their long rectangular shape and a relative lack of windows. I was a bit surprised myself when I first arrived. Come to find out, I'm not from here. Indeed, I'm actually from, Britai. For certain reasons, I am currently in the Balta family's care. We're going to gloss over the fact that the Balta family raided my home village and took me hostage. Well, it's good to finally be back. I thought this day would never end. How is everyone here holding up? I was sharing a story, but thanks for the interruption. You've completely interrupted and derailed the part of the story where I talk about how your father ransacked and... Let's not go down that avenue. Viking history is not kind to the places they visited. We've already been informed that Karnak was attacked. Most of the residents are settling down for the night by now. But I'm told they're all prepared for battle starting tomorrow. Okay then, sounds like things are about to heat up for the first time in a while. The Balta Lodge is located at the center of the settlement atoll. It's quite large, so you can't miss it. Shall we be off? Alright, let's make our way over there.
Beyond those walls is the residential area. The mayor's son will be spending the night there.
Yo,
guy
hold
looks
up.
dead
That's
on his
actually
feet.
pretty... When you
guess I
said
can't
quite
blame him.
large, I
Our
wasn't
lodge is
quite
over there.
thinking that large.
Time we rest for the day ourselves.
Britai, really? We're getting some top-tier creativity over here. I could have come up with something more creative. Yes, actually all of the regions are largely, from what I understand, they're largely adaptations of, real-world locations or groups of people. Let me pull up a few of these, or actually, I probably shouldn't. It's just going to be a distraction from where the story is actually supposed to be at. But you're going to realize as you get through the Yi's storyline is a lot of the world is taking namesakes off of real-world locations. So don't be surprised when we see a lot of those. So, this is your house, Karja? Yeah, but lately, Grimson and I barely ever here during the day. Easer does pretty much all of the chore work for us. Norman dwellings are designed with these central chambers, which often include a hearth. This is important both for cooking meals and as a place for the family to gather for warmth. The Normans are, after all, from a cold region, so heating has always been important to them. By the way, any idea when Grimson's supposed to be home? With all that's happened, I'm sure he's still caught up in war councils. You two must be tired. Please, feel free to, Please, feel free to retire before he gets back. Oh, and, Miss Karja, the Jarl said to have Adel use the, room next to yours. Well, if Grimson's okay with it, then it's fine by me. Very well. Your room will be the one on the right. Adel, you can rest in there. For now, let's just get some sleep and figure this stuff out tomorrow. I'm beat. I still have some cleaning to attend to, so if you'll excuse me. Thanks for taking care of all of this, Easer. I know how busy you've been. I am getting so tired I can barely read anymore. Please don't mention it. This is my duty after all. I also just now realized that Norman is supposed to be Norway. Yeah, I took it as Norse in general, but it's probably more accurate the way you're interpreting it there, because that definitely falls within their standardized naming. Their standardized naming schemes. I need to slow down because my brain is shutting down and I am falling apart at the moment.
See you tomorrow.
Unsurprisingly, the day's physical and mental fatigue is hitting all at once. An intense drowsiness begins settling in. Oh! Alright, that was at least kind of a funny gag.
Hurry up and get over here, damn it! Now, listen up! Nothing pisses me off more than something coming between me and a good night's sleep.
Yeah, because that was completely intended on my part. Wait. So we sharing a room now?
We have to bunk together like sardines during most sea voyages anyway. So, I'm used to it at least. Besides, we don't really have any other options. You're the type who can bed down wherever, right?
Wait, but... Yes. The sound of Karja's steady breathing fills the air. It seems she's already fallen asleep. Okay, well, no, but also yes. With that, the curtain finally closes on a very eventful day. Ultimately, the whereabouts of Dogi and Dr. Flare remain a total mystery. Adol will have no restful sleep because he is worried about his wife, Dogi, somewhere, being tortured by unknown creatures and a hot elf lady. And the residents of Karnak, yeah, something about them as well. All that can be done for the moment, however, is cry myself to sleep. Finally, letting his exhaustion take over him, Adol quickly falls into a deep slumber. Kind of like how Digimon names are just thing related to creatures plus mon. Exactly. Hey, so you mentioned about a good night's sleep, kind of getting past the night portion.
And screw off.
It seems Karja needs another 5 minutes or so. Awaking her now would probably be a very bad idea. Best to be quiet for the time being. Wait. No. No. Bugger. Oh, we're not going to get any, alright. Wait. If I run away, she's just going to fling out of bed, right? Oh, I can't do the full sprint. Yeah, they're literally not going to... That's kind of cheap. Way to be a dick about it, game. Also, the amount of movement I'm given right now very much implies I could have been sleeping here, and they literally just didn't make me for the sake of the moment.
Morning. Sleep well?
I may or may not have slept well. Define well and sleep.
You're talking about this room or Karja's?
Wait. Yes? Yes. Yes? Yes.
As far as this one goes, I doubt the owner will be all that upset with you. She's been dead a long time anyway.
I feel like I've crossed lines now.
More importantly, let's eat breakfast. After that, we'll conduct a thing. I want you there for it, Adol.
Things are what we call our community. Oh, wait, hold on. That's stupid. No, give me like an actual term here. Things that, okay, wait. I can defend the tie-ins to real world locations because we're trying to kind of have some form of cultural like tie-ins that you can point to and say, hey, think that when thinking this. I'm sorry. Things? Fuck you. Things are what we call our community meetings. They're, where we come together and make important decisions. How about we call them a council? Indeed. When and where to mount expeditions would be the obvious example. Issues such as criminal sentences or disputes between residents are also settled during a thing. Again! Anything would have been a better name than this. Just make something. A skjormulf. I don't give a fuck. A thing. And of course, the person who leads the thing is. Again, this just sounds like a council. Like, I'm sorry. Like, this one bugs me. This one's stupid. The way they blocked you there gives me Pokemon X and Y vibes. Sees this factory out in the distance? Do you want to go there? Too bad! Fuck you! Well, again, as far as this goes, the idea is like that magic thread is keeping me in place, but the idea that I wanted to be able to trigger a moment where I run off and she just gets up and gets mad at me. But they wouldn't let me do that. And then we have another room that I could go to where it had a bed, and I understand why they wouldn't let me use that bed now, but like, come on, really? Alright, so the Jarl is the one leading the meetings. Your son and his wife are doing okay, Granny Frida? How's their new arrival holding up? Very well, thank you for becoming the newborn's godfather. In fact, I'd say the little one's doing almost too well. His poor mother's already being run ragged. Ha! Now, no, giving that poor daughter-in-law of yours a hard time. Be sure to help her where you can. Pshaw. Don't think you can start giving me advice, booger. I'm sorry, what? That really takes me back. The Jarl? Yep, our little Grimey's come a long way. That reminds... Oh, okay, Grimson, Grimy. Okay, at least I get that one now. It took me a second. That reminds me. Horik, how does that lover spat with your wife we discussed last week? The two of you make up yet? Nah, I apologize, but she doesn't seem like she wants to come back. Well, don't just wait around for it. You gotta go and you gotta go and win her back directly. Gift her parents a pig when you head over to seal the deal. I guess I got no choice. Clearly, someone left all the macho bravado on the battlefield. I'm still not over the fact that we're calling this a thing. Right then, brothers and sisters, on to my main reason for bringing us all together. As I'm sure many of you had already heard, Karnak was hit by a raid last night. And aside from the mayor's son over there, all the townsfolk were taken. It goes without saying that Karnak falls under our turf. So this little raid is as good as a direct attack on us. Well, in that case, we gotta hit back, show them what happens when you mess with us. Otherwise, they'll think they can just do whatever they want. Jarl Grimson, put me in the fray too. That guy does not look like he's equipped for combat, but you know what? I respect the want to be on the front lines. Before you youngsters get any more riled up, just who are we up against? It takes a gutsy sort to pick a fight with us. You say they nabbed the townsfolk. Does that mean they're other Normans? Come down from Britae? No, they're not Normans. Not Romans or Spaniards either. The ones who attacked Karnak were Greiger. Greiger? You mean those beasts that can only be beaten with mana? I've never actually seen one. No, these particular Greiger aren't quite the same as the others, so far. They were like humans, complete with an organized army and a fleet of warships. Launched a counteroffensive on them last night myself. Human-like Greiger? And since when do they have warships? Yeah, what's with that? We still don't know what they're after or just how strong their forces number. But we do have confirmation on a female Greiger, one of their leaders by the looks of it. The enemy's got smarts and strategy, and apparently looks. They can't be killed by normal means. How do we even contend with such a thing? Well, apparently you have another thing and talk about the thing that you have to have a conversation about. Council, meeting, gathering, directors boards. Nah, these are things. We have them in between our that's and thises. The rest of us can take the fight out of them by striking at vital points such as their heads. But the only ones who can land a killing blow with these things can... But the only ones who can land a killing blow are those who can use mana. Wow, I had trouble reading that. That would be the Jarl, the Princess, and our new red-haired fighter. The key will be figuring out how best to utilize the Jarl and the Princess's power. Took the words right out of my mouth, Philia. Matter of fact, I'd like to add our mana-wielding ranks. Add to our mana-wielding ranks. Grimy, you do understand that mana is a gift from the gods, right? If it was the kind of thing you could just hand out to just anyone, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. And that brings us to our next topic. Adol, step forward. Yeah, who is that stripling supposed to be anyhow? Let me introduce him. This here is Adol Kristen. He ain't from around here, but just the other day he gained the power of mana and used it to survive the raid on Karnak. And now, he and my daughter Karja, they're acting. Let me quotation mark, acting. Ignore the fact that they slept in the same bedroom last night together. An outsider who can use mana? I know none of you are about to let these Greiger psych you out, but having mana users on our side is going to be the clincher here. That's why I'd like to invite Adol to join us as Karja's shield brother. That way, he can help us fend off the Greiger menace. Never even heard of an outsider wielding mana before. I have no objections. If the boy has been blessed by mana, that can only mean he has been chosen by Har. Are we sure about this, though? He's not even a full adult. I'm sorry, is the princess a full adult? How about shove it? There you go. Or what, are you planning to kill the Greiger in their place, tough guy? I would if I could. Look, I know what a shield brother is. Let's continue on. Normans generally operate in twos on the battlefield. Such pairs are dubbed shield brethren, in the sense that each has the other's back. Now, wait just a minute, Grimson. Where's this coming from? I haven't heard a word about it. What do you mean? I just told you. But fine, let's take a second opinion. You got any better ideas on how to handle things? It's true that more mana users we have, the better. And it's true I'm not as good a fighter as you on my own. How about you, Adel? What are you thinking? Wait, hold on. Okay, no, I am gonna be a selfish prick. This works out great for me. Oh, are you planning to look for your friends in the townsfolk? Yesn't. You're a simple man. But a no-frills goal like that's all the easier to trust, yeah? Sorry to say, though, I won't be much help when it comes to your little cuffs problem. Never seen or heard of them? Means you two will just need to find a way to deal with it somehow. In other words, we should become shield brethren and look into it ourselves. What I told you?
I wonder, is there more I'd like to find out too? About myself, maybe?
Oh. Grimson is the most Fire Emblem looking character on the screen here, and I think it's the headband. I'll be honest, as far as Fire Emblem characters go, he is definitely one that cuts the, what's the term I'm looking for? None of the actual fighter units you'd get. He looks like the kind of Fire Emblem character that is in all of the cutscenes as like a head of house somewhere for some reason. Again, he doesn't give me the kind of vibe that he's somebody that you'd see on the battlefield, but like in a Fire Emblem story, it's like, yeah, no, he's kind of the big head dog guy. My word, just when did this meeting turn into a family drama session? That being said, us Normans working shoulder to shoulder with outsiders isn't unheard of. In days gone by, any strapping young man could get pulled into an expedition no matter his origin or creed. Again, if you know the history of Vikings, you understand that people got pulled into things more often than not unwillingly. Well, Granny sure knows her stuff. Well then, it sounds like it's settled. Adol is now a Shield Brother candidate. Candidate. Yeah, the rules are a little different when it comes to outsiders becoming Shield Brethren. Right you are, a decision like that can't be made by Thing alone. God, I fucking hate that. Let's never have another Thing, please. Let it just be a one and done moment. Easer, give him the bangle. As you wish. I'm sorry, the fuck was that animation? Hold up, I'm gonna wait for that in the actual stream. I gotta see that again. That was... God, that looked buggy as fuck. I'm sorry, that took me out of everything there. Here you are, Adol. And we have the classic item acquired little sound effect playing. Now that you've got that, you and Karja head over to the left. Head over to Milk Island. And do what? Someone else will give you the nitty-gritty later, but basically, you'll need to prove to Karja that you've got strength and courage worthy enough for her to entrust her life to. Ah, the right of brotherhood. I've heard it's brutal, lethal even. Well, it's fairly rare that we have cause to do it these days, though. Sometimes rituals like this can be pretty damn pointless. In this case, though, I'd say it's necessary. Philia. Yes, sir? You'll be a good pick to oversee this. Go with and give him the rundown, would ya? Understood. Alright then, brothers and sisters, with that, today's thing is... I fucking hate that term! It's adjourned. I'll be saving us all I'll be having us all reconvene once the rite's been completed. Thanks for coming. I'm sorry. Everything that has going on about it is terrible.
I'm Philia of the Balta Sea Force. Nice to meet you, Adol.
Pleased to be working with you.
Same here. So, despite the big fancy name, the rite of brotherhood is actually pretty simple. First, we take a boat to Lecto Island. There, you and the princess will disembark.
I've got to go too?
Well, of course you do, princess. This whole thing is about you two becoming partners. The rite is performed in pairs by tradition. Even if that weren't the case, those cuffs of yours would drag you along anyway.
Ah, right.
The cool thing about Vikings is that they were willing to use any weapon they got their hands on. Because of that, literally any melee weapon could be associated with them in some way or another. Well, and the simple thing is, when you're talking about weapon use, or even just tool use in general, because again, it was not uncommon for tools to be used as blunt objects, as weapons in those scenarios as well, because as you say, you fucking pick up a stick and it's a viable weapon. But the Vikings were massive on, like, the shield combat, and again, never underestimate the viability of the old sword and board combo.
Once ashore, head to the deepest reaches of the island. Then wear the bangle and touch the stone monument you find there.
Alright, so wear your bangle, touch some stones on Milk Island. Again, I'm not going to hear Lecto or whatever it is and not make it sound like lactate. I'm sorry. Go to Lactate Island with the two people who are about to become partnered. Go there with your fancy jewelry and touch each other's stones.
Whatever happens after that, you report to me and boom, right's over.
Huh? That's it?
Yep, all there is to it.
And then come back and tell me about how it went.
Aside from the wild beasts and other dangers that populate Lecto Island, of course. You'll also need to get a boat and make all the preparations yourself.
Well, we have a boat.
I see. So this is just like when we go out on expeditions.
That's right. Any necessities you've got to provide for yourself. So whether it's a boat, equipment, or supplies, you'll have to buy or borrow anything you need.
No way we could afford to buy our own boat.
We don't have to buy one, we have one.
Well, we've got the Sandras, so there's no need to rent one either.
True. That said, it's pretty decrepit. Could probably use some repairs, I'd say. And by the looks of it, you may want to get your sword and gear up to snuff too.
You're not wrong, but we're not exactly rolling in money.
That's how everyone starts out. Why not talk to people around the settlement?
I don't like the implication there, but we'll see where that goes.
Those who see promise in you will be sure to help you out.
Yeah, those who see promise in you. I'm sorry, I'm partnered with the Viking Princess. Why are people can question my validity, but seriously, her? She's already built up to be kind of somewhat important. People should at least be willing to trust her with some relatively basic jobs, right?
Building trust is the core of this rite. Not just between you two, but with the others as well.
Makes sense.
And that should do it for the explanation. I'll be waiting by the docks. Once you've got everything in order, come see me.
Look, thanks for the advanced help.
Of course. I'm counting on you here too, Adel. All right, see you later.
Let's go around the settlement and see if we can find people to
Yeah,
help
again,
us.
that's exactly the way it sounded to me too when I read it the first time. I can't look at Lecto and not hear lactate. So again, that is where my brain just goes, you know what? I'm gonna lean all in on that.
We should start with those who are at the thing, since they already know what's going on. After them, it'd be good to check in with the blacksmith and the shipwright.
Alright, I am going to leave this stream off there. We'll start the next stream with us having to go and visit again, because my throat, I am like wheezing now. I can't. I apologize for that. There's not a lot I can do about it. It is just an unfortunate effect of damage to the throat through these years. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap the stream up there. I'm gonna call it here, and I hope to see you guys next time. As always, Rigid, great having you here. Thank you so much. Have a good one, and I guess God bless you.